Hey class, this is video 2 for week 1. Make sure you've watched week 1, part 1 video so that you know how to navigate through Moodle and how to get to the next step. This is the next step. I would like to address how you do your reading activity, your LearnSmart activities, and your listening activities and quizzes. And so I'm going to switch over to another method of viewing. You need to go into your, you need to go into Moodle to access Connect. And once you get to Connect, it's going to look something like this. You will see week 1 assignments that will be open. You won't see all this other stuff. You'll just see week 1. And in it, you're going to see a LearnSmart activity. You'll see this over here, SmartBook LearnSmart SBLS. First of all, you can do this one of two ways. This is the link to get to your SmartBook, or you can follow the link to get to your LearnSmart. It takes you to the same thing. To get to your LearnSmart, all you have to do is click on the blue arrow, go to Begin, and it will open up your SmartBook. You have 40 pages that you're responsible for week 1. So make sure that you are completing this. All right, and so it's going to take you, this is actually the LearnSmart section. I need you to get to the section where it says to read, okay? Reading first, practice later, okay? And so this is the first page. Anything that's not highlighted in yellow isn't as important. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next page. You're welcome to look at all those pictures and read it all. I think there's a way to reset that. So loading the next page, this goes page 4 to 9 for this next section. You can navigate using the sidebar. So make sure you're reading everything that's highlighted in yellow. Within this section, you will see little videos like this. This one happens to be on pitch, I do believe. And so if you're not a musician and you'd really like to learn more about pitch, because it's something you're not quite sure all the little details about, please watch that video as you're reading. They come along every so often. And so you can read all of this information. It's very important. Here's one on dynamics. And please read everything in yellow because it's all going to be covered on your test. And then when you get to something like this, this is part of your listening, so make sure that you've read about your listening assignments before you listen. That way you understand what's expected of you. And then to actually do the LearnSmart activity, you're going to go into the knob over here that says Practice. Once you get to Practice, you're going to start answering these questions. I've already started this one because I'm redoing this video. But when you get this bar completely filled and it says 0 items left, then you're finished with this assignment. Should only take you just a few minutes to do each one of these. They're broken down into small pieces. And so the first question here is, an octave is a type of interval. I'm going to tell you now, I know that to be true, and you will too once you read. And so I'm going to say, yes, I know it. If you're not sure and you think you know it, go ahead and push the blue button. If you're unsure, push the yellow. If you have no absolute idea, push the red, and it'll help you to learn the material based on how you answer the questions. Okay? Try to do this as a kind of a mini quiz instead of always having to read about it. Make sure that you are truly answering the questions. So I'm going to say, I know it. Okay? And then I'm going to say, okay. Okay? And once I've answered it and it's correct, then it's going to tell me I only have this many things left to answer. Once I get to 0, I'm finished with it. Okay? So I'm going to go back and show you how to do, I'm going to leave LearnSmart. So you have 5 of those this week, and they're always going to say Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 47, Chapter 71. They're going to keep going through the whole semester. Okay, they're numbered from 1 to 86, I think. So this is a very important part of your homework, and don't neglect this portion because you will miss out on a huge number of points, and these are super easy points. Okay? Then you have some things. Normally I put the instructor's name, the composer's name first in capital letters and then the name of the piece. Okay? This is considered homework. It doesn't have anything to do with LearnSmart or SmartBook. And so you're going to go over here to this blue arrow and you're going to press begin. It's going to take you to the listening and it's going to tell you haven't started because you haven't. It's going to tell you how many points it is and it's going to say that you have unlimited attempts. Please complete this assignment until you get all of the points, and if you mess up on something you can go back and redo it again. So you're going to press start. Okay? And once you press start, you're going to see something like this. The information about the song is going to show up at the bottom. So once you see this information at the bottom, as you play the recording, you will see these things scroll along to tell you about what instruments you're hearing, tell you a little bit about what's going on in the music, talk about dynamics, it'll talk about, you know, maybe the technical aspect of actually what's happening. So I'm not going to play this now because it's 3 minutes and 5 seconds, but I will start it and show you that make sure that you have completed it all the way to the end to 100%. 100%, that'll give you full points. Then after you're done with that, you need to go to the bottom of the page and you need to press next. Okay? Next is going to take you to another page. You're going to need to listen to this listening excerpt here, and from that listening excerpt, from that section, you're going to answer the question, which instrument family performs after the strings? Well, you'll have to listen to find out. And then you'll go to the next question, the third question of 3. You can listen again. It's probably the same excerpt asking another question. Which instrument punctuates this selection with dramatic accents? Well, you have three instruments to choose from, and you will choose the correct one. Then after you're done, you can save and exit, but that doesn't mean you've submitted it. I would go ahead and submit it because there's no use in just saving it. So go ahead and submit, and then it's going to tell you how many points you have acquired. You're going to view your results. I did not finish listening, and I did not answer the questions, so obviously I still have 0 points. Okay, so that's your way of knowing. I will warn you about scoring in the LearnSmart activities. If you submit things after the due date, sometimes you will receive 0 credit. When I sync the grades into Moodle, I will change that to 100% credit. It's just if it's done after the due date, sometimes I have a hard time getting it to not score you a 0 when I sync the grades. Okay? I'm going to go on back to, I'm going to exit. Then I'm going to show you one more last thing. I will always do the composer's name, the name of the song. The Ellington this week gave me trouble, and so you have the listening and then you have the questions. And so I hope that the questions are able to be answered. If not, I'll make adjustments to it. Don't worry. It's only worth like 5 points total out of your 150. Then the last thing you have to do this week is your quiz. Your quiz is usually multiple choice. Sometimes I put listening on it, but it's usually multiple choice. You will press begin. And those are not normally timed. Your tests are timed, and but your quizzes are not. I hope that this helps you to know how to navigate through Connect and how to get started on your assignments for this week. I know some of you will probably have questions or concerns, and so feel free to contact me or call me and I can walk you through stuff. It's kind of a busy week for me, and so with other things I've got going on, but I'll be glad to help you if you get into a bind. There's some other things over here in the menu and on this sidebar that you can investigate. And I'm going to go and close that out. Just make sure that you look just for week 1 and complete all of those assignments. And so I'm going to say that's all for now, and hope you have a great week. I'm sorry my glasses have been such a glare, and so I will, best of luck, and I'll talk to y'all soon.